Evening, Moon Princess here, and tonight we're going to talk about a murder-suicide case of Alan Hawe and his family, his wife Claudia, his sons Liam, Neil, and Ryan. So, just a disclaimer, as I try to include, this is violent. People got murdered. If you don't want to hear about it, if you don't want to hear about violence, sometimes, I don't think in this one, but a lot of times, there's also a bit of sexual violence as well. So if you don't want any of that kind of content, just click out of this video and find something else to watch. There's plenty of other content on my channel and many others. So, alrighty. With that, let's get started. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so murder-suicide of Alan Hawe and his family. So, we're going to start by taking a moment to just leave space for the victims, leave room for them, and just acknowledge the hurt that they went through, the horror they must have felt, and just sending them love. If you don't want to, that's fine. I thought a nice way to start videos sometimes to just, set some intentionality. Okay, so August 2016 in Valley James Duff, Alan Hawe and his family died. So Alan was 40 years old. He was a school VP, vice principal in Ireland, and he murdered his family before taking his own life, killing his wife and his 3 little boys. He left a 5-page letter detailing his actions, a letter for his parents, siblings, and his mother and sister-in-law. He killed his wife, Claudia. She was 39. He killed her with a knife and an axe in the living room on one of the lower levels of the house. He killed his 3 sons in their bedrooms in the upper levels of the home, utilizing a knife. So Liam was 13, Neil was 11, and Ryan was 6. He stabbed or slashed the boys in their throats. His wife was killed by an axe and knife to both her head and neck, and it is believed he killed his older son Liam first, as the bigger of his 3 children who might be more likely to fight back. He killed his wife while she sat on the sitting room settee. He took the axe from the shed where he kept it and brought it with him. He prearranged the furniture so that his wife, Claudia, had to turn her back to him when she came into the sitting room. While she drank her cup of tea, he approached her from behind and hit her in the head with the axe. He stabbed her from behind. When she lifted her hand to attempt to defend herself, her hand was nearly shown off. So it was brutal, excessive use of weapons, evil. So he used another knife for the crimes which preceded the murder of his wife. Following these murders, he detailed out his letter to the family before taking his own life somewhere in the hallway of the home. He left a note on the back door asking his family or whoever came to the house to not enter but call the authorities, a note which was found by his mother-in-law. The backdoor note read, "Please do not come in. Please call the garde," which is the police. He explains in his writings that he saw no other option other than to kill his children. He knew he was going to commit suicide and didn't want to leave them to cope with it. I don't know, dude. He asked to be forgiven for his crimes. I mean, there must be some kind of mental health problem going on for that to seem like it's logical. But he did say in it, "I'm sorry for my brutality, but I had no other way." Hawe had been dealing with mental health concerns and experiencing severe psychotic symptoms. Likely he had been envisioning some impending disaster, which would make sense. But it is still very brutal. The victims' bodies were found August 29th, 2016, the day which he was supposed to return to school after the summer. He had been experiencing conflict with a colleague and having anxiety and stress over this, as well as stress over his work performance. It was reported that Hawe told his GP, general practitioner, he was really stressed by the conflict between he and his colleague. He requested to be cremated, I guess in his letter, and his ashes dispersed to the sea. He even referred to his own psychosis, questioning whether he enjoyed all the good stuff we did. Referring to his shame, Hawe wrote, "I certainly wasn't abusing anyone. I just don't know what I was. I wish I'd never darkened Claude's life, but there was always something wrong with me." So dressing up in his wife's underwear and clothes. So some things he also did, he dressed up in his wife's underwear and clothes. He accessed online porn on a school computer and phone, and he was browsing Russian dating sites. Said that Hawe was leading them to a life of ruin, and his wife would have had to clean up his mess. We still don't fully know what this mess is, but he said in his own words he was caught red-handed looking at pornography on a school laptop, and he never brought the school laptop home. We've had sight of the counseling notes, and he had said he was masturbating somewhere he shouldn't have been, possibly school. So we have pieces of information, but we don't know who caught him. We don't know why he was ringing the INTO, whether it was for advice for a grievance. We don't know where it happened, when it happened. We do know in June he canceled all his counseling sessions, and this all happened the day before he was to return to school. So it was avoidance of the consequences he was about to face, it seems. Then also, like I said, he said it would be easier for them to die than to have to live with what he had been doing. So it makes me wonder what he was doing that was so bad that he killed his family. We do know now that we didn't at the time that he was dressing in Claude's underwear. No one would have thought that he would do that, according to what I read. Also, somewhere he said, "I have wanted to kill myself for a long time now, and I could not bear the thought of leaving my mess and the anger and rejection Claude and the boys would have to live with forever." The letter also chillingly reveals that Ha enjoyed murdering his family. All the good stuff we did, I was really into it. But I think there was some sort of psychosis that made me enjoy it, that yet in the next moment I was the complete opposite. I'm sorry for how I murdered them all, but I simply had no other way. So that's all of the notes that I listed on this case. I hope you find it interesting. I know that's not very much, but nonetheless, like and subscribe if you got something out of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next. Sweet dreams, Moonies. Until next time.